Akon and Ludacris were coming down the stairs and Fat Joe introduced me as the Michael Jordan toy guy. I'm mad about MJ. This is the Michael Jordan office. It's a toy collection that slam dunks the competition. Michael Jordan's a multi-championship winner, 6 from 6. He had an absolute burning desire to elevate his teammates and put the Chicago Bulls on the map, and it's still probably a legacy that most people haven't achieved or reached. 2 3-peats, which is absolutely amazing. The very first Michael Jordan item I purchased off eBay was this Ohio art hoop here, which you can see me playing back in 1994. So the nostalgia and memories associated with that led me back to that toy. I started collecting just Michael Jordans and figurines in general, and I started buying 1 or 2 of everything, and that's how it started. The reason why I wear gloves is because I treat these products as artifacts, something that will belong in a museum, and I treat them as if they are already in a museum. So I treat them with care, and it's something that will also help preserve and keep them intact as well. These are the very first documents announcing Michael Jordan's first toy endorsement, and this is the photo that it accompanied with. 4 toys actually, all of them included a free poster, which I have here. There was the Jordan hoops, there is this one here, there's a sports locker which is up the top. This one here is the one that we're going to be talking about, because this is the trivial one where he's photographed and promoted, and it actually says the 8 3/4 inch Michael Jordan action figure. However, that wasn't the case when it released. Without any word or anything, they just removed the figurine and replaced it with the year before one. The toy company themselves told me it was due to a lack of popularity. The kids testing the toy gravitated to the white figurine as opposed to the Michael Jordan figurine. It's actually a functioning toy. This had a little basketball lane with it, and then what you do is you shoot the ball into the hoop from said distance, and then you play the game of horse like that. So it's just amazing that this should have been in that but was never sold or released. This is definitely the rarest item in my collection. That's been featured in magazines and on Google, and the reason why is because of those 2 defects. The white chest, which is a factory flaw, so that should have been painted a skin tone but was left that way, and then the reverse Nike swooshes. This is something that if the house was burning, I'd certainly run out with. This is the one that matters the most to me and has the most significance. I consider that to be the rarest Michael Jordan toy, not only in my collection but probably in the world as well. Just the fact that these exist, and again was photographed and promoted and never was sold or released, certainly put it in a category on its own. I know I've spent about $100,000 on this collection. 75 would be on product, 25 would be on shipping. Ballpark what it's worth these days, look, 200,000 or plus, because anything to do with Michael Jordan, especially value, is trajectory, and it's always going in the same direction, which is up. Trying to get an appraisal from an American guy in particular whose name's Jordan Hembrough. He was known as the toy hunter on Discovery Channel.
I'm thinking more like $2,000.
$1,000?
These are prototypes. It's the unknown. You just don't know what to ask for something like this.
Crazy.
I guess his well-known expertise is quite difficult, and I've been trying for years to get that. This one alone, look, there've been speculations of 50 to 70,000 US. It certainly could be worth a lot more as time goes on. I visited the toy company in 2019 and they didn't have any of this, so I rocked up with a suitcase with that and 7 of these, and they were just bewildered that this is still in existence. They no longer manufacture toys. They're well known for Etch A Sketches. As I was leaving as a parting gift, they gave me this 100-year anniversary Etch A Sketch, which is amazing. Blank, of course, but I was going to Chicago 2 stops afterwards to meet this lady named Princess Etch. She works with Disney and does some amazing stuff. That image of Michael Jordan on the back of that free poster, which again was only promoted and photographed. Michael was playing with Chicago at the time, so going to Chicago to meet Jane from a Ohio art product certainly made it a full circle event for me. Jane actually cuts these in half and disposes of the rest of the product, so that keeps this image intact. So you can turn these knobs and nothing's going to happen. On Jane's YouTube lives and shorts, this has been viewed nearly 6 million times, which is just amazing that something like this is probably one of the most viewed Michael Jordan art pieces, and certainly one of one. Nobody else in the world would own one of these. Cards have really taken off at the moment. I believe this is limited to 23, signed on a basketball leather. Absolutely amazing piece to have in the collection. So the Michael Jordan collecting community worldwide is quite large. The majority of them are sneakerheads. There's a lot of jersey, card, and memorabilia collectors. I'm very fortunate to find myself in a lane where I'm the only dedicated Michael Jordan toy collector and historian. I believe what I'm doing is adding value. I believe what I'm doing is not only preserving but cultivating part of that legacy and preserving the art of play, which is something that's almost been lost. What you're seeing in here is a lot of artifacts. From the beginning, from when Jordan started to even through to now, he's still making toys. So it's really a timeline of Jordan's history as well. These figurines made by a Hong Kong artist called Michael Lau. Now, Michael Lau and Michael Jordan met, and Michael Jordan asked him to do some work for him. So he's a well-known, as I said, Hong Kong pop culture artist, and he designed these 6 figurines. This is limited to 23, so there's only actually 23 sets of these in the world, which is absolutely amazing. I believe there's one on eBay at the moment going for 9,400 US. So this magazine that I was very fortunate to be featured in shows Michael with Michael Lau here. I have a 2-page feature. This is a Michael Jordan Collectors magazine, and to be the only Australian or one of the very few Western collectors was an absolute bonus and honour for me. This is the life-size Michael Jordan statue, and it is life-size, so it's 6'6". This was purchased off eBay, but I had the shoes custom painted to one of my favourite Jordan shoes, which is the Cement 3s. A lot of people have had photos with it. A lot of people are fascinated by it, and once I saw it, I just had to have it. So it's certainly one of those things that fits in well with the room, and I've not seen another collector have in theirs. You could actually go to meet him in 2011 as a Gatorade competition, so I've still got the Gatorade bottles. The guy who won this was from WA. I would love to find that guy who won and to find out how it was. An opportunity existed, but it wasn't my time. To have a meeting with Michael Jordan's near impossible. Not impossible, but near impossible, mainly because of his stature and where we are today as opposed to where he is. It's all about alignment and serving your purpose, and as long as you're on that trajectory and being part of the legacy and treating it respectfully, I think others will certainly put me in that room. This is from Ohio Art, that toy company, of the Jordan backboard, which is what this is here. And the line that MJ uses when he promotes it is the best looking backboard he's ever seen. A great relationship I've built over several years, literally, is with Michael Jordan's son, second oldest son, Marcus. And what you're looking at here is a photo of Marcus in his office in Orlando, and on that top shelf is the majority of the toys that I've sent him over the years. He was one of the first people I gifted one of those first toys to, because I knew that the family didn't have one. And what a great experience, because again, you could imagine the father getting a photo or seeing this and where did you get that? So I'm sure over the years it's become a common line, Josh from Australia. So I think actually meeting Michael, you're Josh from Australia, so then things will connect, yeah. This shoe, as I said, was the very first shoe Michael Jordan wore in the NBA. This is called a Nike Air Ship. So before Nike had finished his Air Jordan 1 line, this is what he wore. There was a ball boy who got this signed by MJ after one of his games and sold it, I want to say a few years ago, and went for I think $1 million or a couple $1 million. So that's just fascinating. Again, that connects to the first toy, and that's why I have this here, because it's the rookie figurine, and as you can see here, it's the same shoe, so it really ties into that whole era of Michael Jordan. A friend on Instagram was selling a shoe named the Marcus Jordan Jeffrey Jordan PE. Now PE is a player exclusive, so what you're looking at here is a shoe made specifically by Michael Jordan and the brand for his sons in middle school. So this is an Air Jordan 17. So I purchased this and I said to Marcus, if I buy this, will you please sign it? And of course he said yes, no worries. He didn't even ask for return postage, so I must mention as well that Marcus aptly sent this back on his own behalf, which is great. But while Marcus had it in transit, I said, could you please get Jeff to sign it? So you're looking at Marcus's signature here, and Jeff is the oldest son of Michael Jordan, signed it here. Now, to connect these two boys to a piece of their history would be amazing. Later this year, I'm going to Nike headquarters, and there's an event called The Gathering, and I'm taking these with me to get them signed by the designer, Wilson Smith. And I'll be looking at him and just saying, there's only one signature now missing to make this complete. How do we make that happen? So that will be a full circle moment right there, to have the sons of the GOAT sign it, to have the designer sign it, and then to have MJ sign it. I treat them as museum pieces already, but they'll certainly be great storytelling, especially from somebody from Australia. You know what I mean? It's almost unheard of that these sort of things happen, so it's wonderful. The item I'm desperately trying to find is this one. The reason why I want this one, and I believe it's a one of one, is because they hadn't had this prepared. They actually painted this black. Jordan wasn't happy with that and actually approved for this head mold to be made. So as many as of these that I have, this is really, to me, the holy grail, because that'll be a one of one. We're talking 1987, so what's that, nearly 40 years. So that could be destroyed. It could be in somebody's attic in America. It could be anywhere. I certainly have tried like Indiana Jones, and I've come up short so far. My favourite player of all time is Magic Johnson, and it's only because Magic Johnson didn't have as many toys as Michael Jordan, plus me reconnecting with the nostalgia of having that first Jordan toy hoop, which is why I sort of ventured down to this lane and became the Michael Jordan toy historian. However, had Magic Johnson had more toys, we might not be sitting here today. For whatever reason, I just don't get sick of it, you know, like it's just a fire that just keeps burning. And then thankfully for you guys today, it's just reignited something again for me to see it, you know what I mean, all together in this room. This means a lot, you know, like I love it.